Hello, today's lesson is going to be on 7.11, which is the integers unit. And we are going to specifically be talking in this part of the unit about adding and subtracting integers. Remember when you're taking focus notes to include your name. So please be writing this as I am writing it. You're in Math 7, and today's date is whatever today's date is. So it depends on when you're taking these notes. So the first lesson is all about integer vocabulary, and it is a review from 6th grade. Integer vocab. So when you see positive and negative numbers and 0 without any fractional parts, these are called integers. So integers include all the numbers that are positive, negative, and it also includes 0, but there are no fractional or decimal parts. If you did not write that yet, please pause. Make sure that when I am writing, if you need to pause to catch up, you do so. Two numbers that are the exact same distance from 0 on the number line are called opposites. And when added together, opposites equal 0. So if you have -3 plus 3, these are opposites, and they always equal 0. The property that lets us do that is called the additive inverse property. So the additive inverse property says if you have two opposites together, it equals 0. We also call opposites, let me get the red here, opposites can also be called additive inverses. All right, so list 4 examples of opposite numbers. So I'm going to list 37, and the opposite of that, same distance but on the other side, would be a -37. You list 3 more, and we'll look at that when you come to class. The next vocabulary word describes the distance between a number and 0 on the number line, and it is called the absolute value of a number. The absolute value is the distance a number is on a number line from 0. For example, if we were talking about this point right here, 6. So I'm talking about that point, so I put a closed circle on the number line. 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places away from 0. So the absolute value of 6 would be 6. Same with if we were talking about this right here. -6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places away from 0. So that absolute value is also 6. So because of that, because we're talking about distance, the answer will always be positive. We write absolute value using these symbols. So the symbols, oh, sorry for the squeaking, look like this, straight up and down lines. So we can say the absolute value of 6 is 6, but we can also say the absolute value of -6 is 6. All right, let's do some practice problems. I'm going to do the first two, and then I would like you to pause and do the next two. So I know that 7 is 7 away from 0. If you need to draw a number line to check it, feel free. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is 7 away from 0. -1, I know. Remember when we number going in the negatives, we start at 0, and here's 1 unit away, so that would be -1. So it's 1 hop away. So the absolute value of -1 is also 1. All right, please pause, do the next two, and then come back and check your answers. All right, how'd you do? Please mark it wrong if you got it wrong so we can talk about it when you come to class. The next ones are, so this was absolute value. These are opposites. Don't get them confused. Opposites can have negatives. So here, the opposite of 4, so 4 is 4 away. On the other side of 0 is -4. And don't put an equal sign in between there because they're not equal. So some people will put that equal sign in, but they're not equal. So you can say an arrow, the opposite of 4 is -4, but don't put an equal sign because they're not equal. So the opposite of -9 would be a +9. All right, please pause and do the next two. All right, how'd you do? Again, please mark it wrong if you got it wrong so we can talk about it when you come to class. All right, lastly, we're going to do some comparing. But it's important that you simplify the absolute value before you compare. So the absolute value of 2 is 2. So I'm actually going to compare 2 to -6. So we're going to use our symbols. Remember, this means less than. This means greater than. And this is equal to. Hopefully you know that one. So 2 is greater than -6. If it's on a number line, it will be further to the right, so we know that it is greater than. All right, finish the last two, come back and check. All right, how'd you do? Again, mark it wrong if you got it wrong, and we can talk about it. Okay, that's it for notes. Peace out.